The United States holds its presidential election every 4 years, but have you ever wondered why the date is set for a Tuesday in November? This tradition, enshrined by federal law in 1845, goes back to a time when the lives of most Americans were shaped by agriculture and religion. Back in the 19th century, life in the U.S. was primarily rural, and many people were farmers. November was an ideal time for voting, as it followed the fall harvest, but was still before winter weather made travel more difficult. The choice of Tuesday was strategic as well. Sundays were dedicated to church, a key day for many in a religiously oriented society. A Tuesday allowed people to attend services on Sunday, spend Monday traveling if needed, and then vote on Tuesday. Before 1845, election dates varied across states, which sometimes led to issues. Holding elections at different times meant that voters in later states could be influenced by results from states that had already voted. To address this, Congress mandated that all states hold the presidential election on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. This ensured a more standardized, fair, and unified approach to the election process. The Tuesday election date was not only influenced by farming schedules, but by weekly routines as well. Wednesday, for instance, was often market day, when farmers brought their goods to sell. Choosing Tuesday avoided conflict with market day, making it easier for people to vote without interfering with their income or church commitments. Over the years, additional significant changes to voting rights have expanded access to the ballot. Initially, voting rights were restricted to land-owning white men, but the 15th Amendment, passed after the Civil War, granted black men the right to vote. This, however, was only the beginning of a long struggle. For decades, black Americans faced barriers like literacy tests and poll taxes, designed to disenfranchise them, especially in the South. It wasn't until the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that many of these discriminatory practices were legally dismantled, further ensuring equal access to voting. Women's voting rights were also hard-won. After years of activism, the 19th Amendment, ratified in 1920, granted women the right to vote. This amendment was a significant victory for the women's suffrage movement, though it still did not protect black women from discriminatory practices in some states. In recent years, American women have even revived Election Day traditions honoring suffrage leaders by placing "I voted" stickers on the grave of Susan B. Anthony, a prominent suffragette. As Election Day approaches, Americans across the country prepare to uphold this tradition, which has adapted but remained remarkably consistent for over 175 years. Holding the election on Tuesday in November may seem arbitrary today, but this choice reflects a blend of historical needs, social values, and practical considerations from a very different time in America's past. Stay subscribed for more videos.